Welcome to the Wonder With Me podcast, where I, Dr. Tonia Winchester, invite you to get curious with me about all things mind-body healing, especially how we can unlock the incredible healing power of our unconscious minds, so that we can all get out of stress mode and go back into healing mode. We'll talk about how you can easily create healthy, sustainable self-care habits so that you can calm your mind, sleep deeply, wake rested, and enjoy happy, energized days. Ultimately, so that you can make a bigger difference in your well-being and that of your family and the world around you. These casual chats are for educational purposes only and don't constitute a therapeutic relationship. With all that said, let's get this episode underway. Come wonder with me. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. I am your hostess, Dr. and/or Coach Tonia Winchester. This is episode 31, How Our Unconscious Minds Are Driving Us on Autopilot. In this episode, I'm going to share some stories that really illustrate and illuminate just how automatic our behaviors are. In our next episode, episode number 32, I'm going to break down what's actually going on neurologically. This episode will keep it sort of big picture, and I'll share some examples, like I mentioned, of how this shows up in our life. So with all of that being said, let's get into it. Let's get wondering. I was visiting my mom, staying at her place, and one morning that I was there, I had a bunch of computer work to do. I had some clients to see online, and she had some errands to run. In fact, she had to go do some volunteer work at her church. So I came downstairs, and I saw the rocking chair by the window rocking, and no one was sitting in it. It was just me there. Dad? I thought, and by dad I meant Dad's ghost. Gulp. I turned my head in the other direction, and my mom was there leaning on the dining room table. "Oh gosh, I didn't know you were home yet." She had been clearly sitting in the rocking chair. And or maybe also my dad's ghost, I don't know. She said to me, "Do you have any idea what happened this morning?" "Sure, you went to do your volunteer work, and I stayed here and worked on my laptop, and I had a meeting, and now we're recapping all of that." "Well, not really," she said. She told me that she left the house, like she normally does, including the step when she sets the house alarm, even though I was still in the house. Oops. Unbeknownst to me, when I came downstairs for my breakfast, I set off the motion sensors and triggered the alarm. While I was leisurely sipping my green tea, I did hear some far-off, distant, high-pitched buzz, which I thought was just something from the condo being built across the way. Effing noise, construction, pollution, blah, grr. And then I went back upstairs, and I was really aware of all of the city noise. I live in the forest, and I'm used to birds and crickets and frogs. So I found some of my dad's old headphones and plunked them onto my head, listening to some groovy lo-fi beats while I did some writing, completely oblivious to any problems, distress, or crises that might have been going on. Meanwhile, the alarm company tried to get a hold of my mom, but she was driving, so she didn't want to answer. They tried to get a hold of my mom's neighbors, who are the next in line to be called when the alarm is triggered. And they connected with them, and everybody started to panic. When my mom got to her volunteer position, she got the calls from the company, and everybody started to panic. So now there's 3 people panicking. And my mom says, "Oh, that is most likely just my daughter. They're at the house." So the alarm company said, "Okay, we'll cancel the law enforcement that we dispatched." Mom says, "Yes, please." So Mom's trying to get a hold of me by texting my cell phone, calling her home, but I'm off in La La Land, lo-fi writing mode. And also Do Not Disturb is always turned on my phone every morning during my creative time. And she just decides she'll just come home. And she got home at 11 a.m. And I didn't come downstairs to see the empty rocking chair rocking until 1:10 p.m. During that time, she came upstairs and saw me with the headphones on and decided not to disturb me. La la, lo-fi writing mode. So why did all of this happen? All of this chaos, this disruption to people's days? Because she, as we all are functioning on autopilot. It's so much easier for our brains to predict what to do next from past behaviors and experiences than it is to think of a novel way to address a certain situation. It's easier and it's more energetically efficient. This is especially true if it's a very similar situation to something we've experienced before. In this case, her leaving the house comes with a set of sequenced steps that she's practiced over and over again. They're habitualized, right? She goes into the garage, she locks the door, she sets the alarm automatically. This is autopilot here. No thinking required, no extra energy expenditure required. I talk about that in episode 29, I believe. This is about energy conservation, more energy for other things that are going on in the body. All of this is happening at the unconscious level. These behaviors that we do automatically are happening without our awareness. Just think about it. If you were driving your car and every time you saw a green light, you had to think, okay, green light, that means go, foot on the gas. Okay, put my foot on the gas, go. Of course not. It's an anchor that's just habituated. So as soon as you see that green light, you go. As soon as you see that yellow, you make a choice in that moment whether you're going. And as soon as you see that red, automatically you put your foot on the brake. It's estimated that only 5% of our behaviors are actually driven by our conscious mind, our conscious intentions, and the rest, absolutely, you guessed it, are being driven by our unconscious minds. Without our awareness, without our intention. And this shows up in our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, how we heal, how we don't heal. It's all happening without us thinking about it. And if there are old patterns in there from hurt that we've experienced when we were little, we're likely going to react in ways or behave in ways that we may not be proud of on autopilot. We become aware of them after the fact, like storming out on our spouse or flying off the handle on our kids or drinking too much or watching just one more short or reel or episode or buying just one more pair of shoes. Of when we eat popcorn for supper, when we stay up past 10 p.m. and when we push people away that could be really good to us. We do all of these things without thinking. It's like we fall asleep for a second and then wake up, regretting and feeling guilty about what we've done. We go unconscious in a way. As our conscious mind checks out and our unconscious mind just takes over and drives these habits and these behaviors on autopilot without us thinking about it. And today I'm wondering about this, and I'm wondering if you're wondering about this and about what it's going to take, how far things need to go to get the alarm activated and the response team mobilized. Where does the pain of change reach the point where it's less than the pain of staying the same? Because this is the crucial turnaround moment. Maybe, and these are true examples, it's when your precious 4-year-old says, "Mommy, I'm scared of you." Maybe it's when you miss a friend's birthday because you were too high. Maybe it's when you reach that number on the scale. You know that one, the one that you never thought you'd see ever. Or maybe it's when you missed the deadline for your dream job application because you had to see how the show ended 4 episodes later. Yes, these are challenging things to think about. And isn't it more challenging to continue to let the pain from your past drive your bus without your awareness or your consent? Imagine for a moment, wouldn't it be less painful to claim authorship of your own life? I mean the one that you're living, aren't you? To get out of these ruts, these patterns, these loops, these struggles, you have to break through the cycle. You need to interrupt the pattern. My mom didn't have a pattern interrupt strong enough to create a new behavior that morning. Perhaps because she hadn't seen me yet, me being there, it wasn't conscious enough for her to leave without setting the alarm. And, as a result, the drama that I've already told you about ensued. I mean, not for me, of course. To review, I was in la-la lo-fi dream writing land, completely oblivious. We need neurological pattern interrupts. We need new filters. We need new options. We need new ways of seeing the world. New behaviors and responses and choices need to be available to us. And that's exactly what I do when I work with my clients and guide them through a mind-body healing breakthrough process. We break the patterns of the past so that the nervous system is primed for whatever they want instead of what they've been getting and creating because of those automatic programs from before. We clear stuck emotions and reprogram We reprogram in access to positive and healthy emotions. We remove the triggers from certain events and memories and people so that they can choose again and choose differently. I'll talk about that more in the next episode. But this time they make these choices with intention and with consciousness. The day after the empty rocking chair, which may or may not have been my dad's ghost sitting on my mom's lap, I was getting takeout from a restaurant. And so here's how the conversation went. I'll have the California burger with no onions and no tomatoes on either the burger or the salad, please. The server at the bar says, wait, before we get there, do you want fries or salad with the burger? Now, you might have just caught that I'd already told her I wanted the salad, but I told it to her in a way that didn't match the automated sequence in her mind. I was supposed to tell her that I wanted the burger, and then she was supposed to ask me if I wanted fries or salad with that. But for her mind, for her sequence, for her automation, I went out of order and maybe a few shorted, I don't know, a glitch in her prediction of her model of the world. I said, salad, please. So I could have been offended. How dare she not listen to me? How dare she not hear me? How dare she not pay attention to me? But I knew that she was just acting automatically. So then I re-clarified, and no onions and no tomatoes, please. On the burger, or the salad, please. Got it. She punched it into the computer. She says, I'll just go to the kitchen to make sure they get the memo. Here, she did choose to create a new behavior, but only after she got the information she wanted in the order that she wanted to get it. Here's the other thing to keep in mind when we're on the receiving end of other people's behaviors. They're acting on autopilot just like we are. Again, only 5% of our behaviors are from our conscious intentions. Now, the kitchen did okay. I'm going to give them a score of 75%. When I finally got to where I was going and I was able to eat my lunch and I opened the to-go container, there were no tomatoes and no onions on the salad and no tomatoes on the burger, but those darn onions still made it on. Not because they were trying to offend me or spite me, but because they were just playing out the same old routine. It's so funny that they managed to be conscious of 3 of the 4 requests, but left those darn onions on. So there it is. The 2 main takeaways from this podcast. 1, you're living your life like a robot who's asleep and you have the ability to get back in the driver's seat of your own life. Wake up, make new choices, and I have tools that can help you do just that. 2, remember to be kind and compassionate when you're moving through the world, especially when you find yourself being offended or hurt by what other people do, quote unquote, to you. They are just acting from their same automated pain programs, predicting the best response based on what was effective in the past, even if it's no longer a helpful thing. So just be kind, get curious, find compassion. And if you're having trouble doing any of these things, reach out because I can help and I'm happy to. Head on over to ToniaWinchester.com and let's chat to find out if a mind-body healing breakthrough is right for you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And may you choose to make all of your dreams come true. Hey, thanks for wondering with me today. If you've got something good out of this, then please forward this episode along to the people who you know could benefit. Be sure to subscribe, and if you're really keen, you leaving us a rating and review helps us to help more people, so thank you in advance for that. If you're wanting more insights about how you can leverage the power of your unconscious mind to go back into healing mode, head on over to ToniaWinchester.com, where you'll find my book, Breakthrough the Insomnia Cycle, and other helpful ideas. Thanks again, and we'll connect on the next episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. In the meantime, may you choose to make all of your dreams come true.